So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the North Hobart Oval, the spiritual home of Tasmanian football, and it is Relive the Rivalry. The Big V have travelled over the straight, and they're taking on the mighty map that is Tasmania. It was in 1990 when Tasmania came out with that very, very hard-fought victory, and it's a couple of years ago through muscle dystrophy. If I can get that word out in a minute, I'll
muscle dystrophy.
Thank you very much. I'll introduce those co-commentators out there beautifully now. That is a third version of this game. In the first year, Tasmania had a close 10-point victory, and then, of course, the last game got over by 2 points, and we are in for a crackerjack game, and it is Andrew, can't pronounce his word, Silver Fox Hopwood in the main commentary position. I'm also welcomed by Tubes. Tubes, welcome along.
Thanks, Hoppy. It's a great day here at North Hobart Oval. What a backdrop. And Tasmania certainly turned it on for today, that's for sure.
And representing the Big V, we've got Mark Stone. Stoney, you've made the big trek across. You must be feeling cock-a-hoot to be here at the great football oval that is North Hobart.
Well, the greatest ground in Australia, Hop, and this is the first time I've ever come to Tasmania. I've seen the North Hobart Oval to my right-hand side coming down the highway there. But Hop, today I'm very excited about the Victorian team. A close win last year, but some of the players running around. I ran into Tony Liberatore this morning at the market, Hop, and he
ran into him or ran over him?
He nearly ran over him, Hop, but looking forward to a fantastic contest.
Well, not only have we got some great players, but I think what about we touch base on our coaches today, and the coach of the Tasmanian team, Peter John Hudson AM. Of course, many years ago, up in the Valley of Love, started kicking around as a teenager and was taken over to Melbourne, and is one of the greats and legend status of football, of course, for Hawthorn. I'm not sure which highlight we should pick out, Tubes, but I like the one when he played at the TCA, one of his comeback games to Tasmania. He kicked 18 goals, and in the Best Player Award in the William Leach, he only got 2 votes. I think that's pretty harsh for a full forward, getting 18 and only getting 2 votes.
Yeah, probably if it had slotted through 19, he might have got the 3, but that's ridiculous, isn't it?
Well, the theory was Danny Ling got him down to him, so I'm not really sure about that. And also, Stoney, for the coach of the All-Stars, David Rees-Jones. What a hard nut he was. Of course, started out with the Sydney Swans, but played his best football with my beloved Blues, and it was in 1987 that he took the coveted Norm Smith medal. So we've got some great lineage out there, their boys mentoring these great players, Stoney.
Yeah, Reese is a great fella. Actually had a bit to do with Reese during the VFL season this year on ABC TV, but he's very excited. So much so, Hop, before the game, he didn't have a team sheet, didn't know who his team was, and used magnets and put him where he thought they could play. So he's excited about the big contest today.
Well, Tubes, I know that you've been really squatting up for this game. I'd love you to just sort of take me through some of those Tasmanian greats that have made their way to North Hobart Oval, and I dare say, by way of leading you in, you and I had a chat to Russell Robinson. So, Tubes, if you just sort of highlight some of the great players that are out there today.
Oh, look, it's a team of superstars today, Hoppy. We've got a lot of Tassie boys that have represented their state in the AFL. You know, running through here, we've got Brodie Holland, Michael Gale, Simon Minton-Connell, Simon Taylor, Paul Hudson, Simon Atkins, Russell Robinson. Coming right down a little bit further, Ben Beams. Tons of players out there. Heaps of forward line pressure in both sides, actually. As Stoney alluded to, David Rees-Jones was really struggling to figure out what was going on with his forward line. He said, I'm not sure who I'm going to put in the forward line. And we just said, just put whoever's in the forward line back and just rotate it like a mini-league game.
Now, Tubes, what about the great number 9, Costello? What's his... there he is there on screen. Have a look at him. I tell you what, he is cut, he's trimmed down for it.
Yep.
His wife's just dropped the second foal, Costello, so he's a father for the second time. And I tell you what, it looks like the old champion has really been in the gym squatting up for this game. How do you see his form?
Absolutely. His form would be described as average at best. He's a bit nervous. I was talking to him before the game. He does seem a bit nervous. He had the shirt and tie on. He looked like a footballer. Whether he is a footballer or not, Hoppy, remains to be seen. I'll be watching him with very close eyes from the top commentary position up here.
Okay, so Stoney, of course, you've flown over with the Vic All-Stars. let's have a little bit of info prior to the national anthem on them.
I'll tell you what, the Ego Maniacs on this side, we've got Favola and Modra in the forward line. How are they going to go? But Champion, Liberatore and Favola all in good nick. And Christou also looking in fine fettle, and off that half-back you'll be hearing plenty of woofs during the game, Hop.
Yeah, they certainly were, as we're seeing the players lining up now, ladies and gentlemen, for the national anthem. I tell you what, when you put that Guernsey on, that is one of the best football Guernseys you'll ever want to see, as these men are representing their code and, much more importantly, a great cause.
Great crowd, great lines around the block before the game.
Oh,
amazing.
ladies and gentlemen, it's going down Ryde Street through Argyle and back up through the strip where the lattes are here in Hobart, as there's Brendan Favola just lining up for the Big V. So it's almost in readiness here, ladies and gentlemen, as we'll go down and hear our announcer, and we'll have the national anthem.
I think it might be a minute silence, actually.
There we go. I thought they were going to do the national anthem as well there, Stoney. They've just got a minute of silence for all the people that are suffering from muscle dystrophy. We hope that this will highlight the fact that there are people out there who care, and they've come in through the gate to give of their money, and let's hope that money goes to this great cause.
Quite an interesting point there. Richard Champion ran through the huddle there of the Tasmanian team there. Hop, bit of frivolity before the start of the game.
Yes, I'd like everyone now to keep their eye, and we can see that little fella there, number 45 as well, Tubes, Nathan Ross, the champion from New Norfolk. It'll be interesting to see how he steps up. He hasn't gone into the TSL, but he has been a gun in the SFL, so I'm expecting big things from him. I also want you guys to see some key matchups out there. We'll be keeping our eye on things, and who is going to take the first hanger, because we've got plenty out there who have the ability to get up high.
With note, boys, Matthew Woolbridge, state fullback for Tasmania, gone straight to Brendan Favola and Tony Modra down there, so watch that with anticipation.
Tubes, just have a look who Simon Atkins has picked up on. I can't see it on from where my vantage point, but there'll be a close eye on Simon Atkins this afternoon.
Darren Winter, it looks like. Yeah, Darren Winter. Straight to Simon Atkins. Obviously, Simon's stacked on a few since his playing days, but I've been told that he's very elusive around the ball, Stoney.
Yeah, absolutely elusive around the ball, and he won't move too much from that half-forward flank.
Well, the ball has gone down. It comes out to Gale. He goes to attempt the don't argue. Good chain of handballs. Fletcher, who is also very well known for how good he's been with his hands at all the clubs that he has played with, has come out wide towards Bourne. And Tasmania have just got their dukes on the ball early as Faulkner has taken that mark. Comes out towards Minton Connell. And I tell you what, he's taken a mark early, and after last year, when you went in there, I think he had a very big pre-season for Casino last year, Tube, so that was a very nice mark early in this year.
Yeah, walked in and took out more than he thought, but here we go, Minton Connell, very, very straight kick, great champion for Sydney Swans and Carlton as well.
All right, so Minton Connell, we've got the camera right behind him, comes up deliberately looking at the goal. That's a very nice looking kick, and it's just eased across to the right. Fair amount of tape on those legs, gentlemen, but that has just wavered across. I thought for a minute that one is going to be put through, but it is the first score to Tasmania, and Tubes, you'd be pleased with their form early.
Very happy with that form, finding a lot of space. We did say earlier that, wow, big talk from Christo right to the middle of the ground. That's unbelievable.
Well, that was circa Barry Round. I saw him do that one of the games he came down here playing for Victoria. He just put it through from centre. And Christo, the great from Carlton, has put that from a long way down. And I tell you what, if this man gets in front for Vola, he was on Timmy Hazel. And he's decided to just run round, put it across his body, and goes a bit too much. Rather nonchalant there, Stoney, I would have thought, but through for the minor score.
I think he's just tricking Fev, because if he was fed him, he could have gone back and kicked that one. So he's probably just warming up Fev before the afternoon starts.
Well, a lovely kick in there by Beam, spotting up the man out there in Blizzard. Blizzard goes back inside to Hazel. I think he'd love to get his hands on the ball after that slight embarrassment of the ease of Vola. I tell you what, it was almost like he was fighting out of the wrong weight division though there. As the ball comes back into that forward line, Minton Connell, who took a very nice mark, cleverly tries to evade that one. But working his way forward is Zanotti, who had his colours lowered a few minutes ago. Lovely work by Liberatore. You can see them moving the ball forward through Baldwin, but it is Fletcher who picks that ball up. And I tell you what, he is looking pretty fit, and he has lost nothing.
Absolutely smooth. And look at this, all the space in the world down there for Russell Robson, who probably went off there. He did. He's handballed over the top to his best mate, Brodie Holland, and we've got another goal for the Tassie team.
Gee, that reminded me of Harlem Globetrotters time there. It was a little bit of have a look at this, have a look at that. And Tasmania are up and about, and it's the first goal there to Brodie Holland.
Brilliant work from Brodie Holland. Like I said earlier, I think Tasmania might have the run. They looked a little bit fitter in the rooms, didn't they, boys? But the experience of the Big V, don't underestimate that.
Now, Tubes, on the picture there before, is that is that Jungle? Is that Jungle over the other side?
Big Jungle, of course. He has been playing that horn for the Hobart Football Club for a long time. As Atkins goes back, obviously sun got in his eye, and is speared in, and Zanotti caught behind, and Minton Connell has taken that mark, and it's a fair unit to get around as well, I would have thought, Tubes.
Begging for 50 there too, he was. He's got up a bit sore, but I imagine that it's been a while since he's had a kick. These Tasmanian boys, as I said, getting the run all over it, and I think the jockey might have got a hit out there, boys, in the middle.
Minton Connell with 2 kicks at goal. I was about to say, do you think there's any pressure on him given he missed that first one? But he's gone back there and slotted that one through as the jungle drums are flowing, and it's Minton Connell's first, Tasmania's second, ladies and gentlemen. They are up and about 2-1-13 to pick one goal. Any concerns in these early stages, Stoney?
I'm very concerned because the Tasmanian players are just getting the ball with ease. The Victorian midfielders can't seem to get their hands on the ball, and Tassie are playing a good style of footy.
It certainly helps when you've got a man down there 7.5 feet tall, just sort of putting it down to your on-ballers. As Victoria get that one out, coming through with the big punch. Fletcher is over it. He's held up in play. That's a very forceful tackle. And he's just held up in that one, and it's going to be a ball.
Fletch walked in 5 minutes before the game and said, where's my jumper on? First put my jumper on, just walk out and have a kick.
Tell you what, he just looks so fit, so there's no doubt about that. As that ball now through succession of handballs, that was Caton.
He's done a hammy.
Oh, no.
He has.
That's no good at all. That is Baldwin, and he might have gone. It has been said that could be the old man's injury, and I put it to you, Stoney, he has down and out.
He's gone. He's finished. To see the old back of the hamstring, and he's in big trouble.
I dare say it won't be the last of that either.
Yeah.
It went hard too.
He's just
shaking hands and said, "No, that's me. I'm cooked.
Finished.
I'm cooked." Bad luck for Jason Baldwin there.
So the ball comes out. That was nicely roved by Shepherd in his attempt to bring that ball back. Not quite far enough, and he's got a bit of action happening in the hair there too. It's been just a little bit sunny sometimes and not.
Now tell me this, Hoppy, do you think we may see a Tassie boy put on the Big V at half-time because of these amount of injuries coming to the Big Vics?
Well, you know what, Tubes, there's a few in the crowd who got Big V jumpers on, so we'll see how we go.
So it's Smith who drives that ball forward, backing back. Just couldn't quite get their hands to it, but Tasmania are working hard and they butter up as Darcy gets that handball out. Nicely worked to Beams. Oh, he's taken very high. He might have thrown the head back just slightly there, just to make sure the umpire saw it. And I think Favola has mentioned that as well. So now it is Beams who runs around every other week for the university. And it is beautifully worked there by the Valley of Love veteran. Comes back out, but Dimartina backing back and taking a very nice mark as he looks to come back inboard. He does so, but Fletcher just drifting across the pack. Beautiful work, and he goes onto that trusted left boot.
Unbelievable work from the Tassie boys, just finding their targets much better than the big V as it comes into Robinson.
So that was good pass there by Faulkner, who had time and space in front of him. And coming out, as you boys mentioned, was Russell Robinson. And he is going to line up for the third goal here for the great Tasmanian team as he leans back. I think he's gone a little bit to the left. And tell you what, that was magnificent goal umpiring as he was just almost bruised his shoulder there. And it's put through for one behind Stoney.
Tubes, did Russell Robinson play a couple of games this year on the coast?
Yeah, he did. He played for the Two Blues, his former club up there at Penguin.
Okay.
Had a couple of games up there, and somebody else, I can't remember who it was, but they had a couple of big names. Mickey O'Loughlin, I think it was.
Yeah, good point.
I think Mickey O'Loughlin played up there as well, for maybe it might have been at Latrobe, but that ball now comes out to Winter. Winter, of course, came from Geelong. Came down to Clarence, had a very successful playing career, then went on to Burnie and back on to Clarence, and now at Lauderdale, still coaching Caper as Favola goes up, and he couldn't quite take it. They've got a very strong forward line, Stoney, but they've got to get the onion down there.
Oh, smooth moves from the jockey there, Nathan Ross from the Valley of Love.
Ross will be one of the ones to look for, Tubes, because he's carrying some fitness on board, as now running through, trying to get where was born. He just runs over the top, and seeing that through is Caton. So any moves you two gentlemen would make at these early stages?
I'd get another three players out of the interchange and put them on the ball, because Victorians are getting smashed around the ball, Tubes, and Tasmania, clean set of heels.
Absolutely. I wouldn't change anything about the Tassie side at the moment, but if I was Victoria, I'd be putting a few extra players in the back line. It's just flooded up a bit and stem the flow of easy balls into the forward line.
Dimartina is getting plenty of the ball, comes out to McLean. Handball off to Smith. Oh. We know this will be a reasonably long kick if he actually goes to Buddy, goes to hand. Champion, who looks very, very fit. He'd be very much liking the conditions. It's beautiful, balmy conditions. And the big Bull Baker comes out and gets a lovely lead. He's lost nothing, the best and fairest from the Melbourne Football Club. Comes over to Danaher. Danaher goes a bit of a pass to Modra. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt, as he's just sort of saying you should have put your hand up a bit higher. And what a great player and a good servant to AFL he has been, Stoney.
I reckon Terry Danaher never stopped playing footy. I think he's still playing up the country somewhere, a bit part-time footy.
He certainly is, as Tasmania very cleverly get that tap out. It's McLean, though, who runs over the ball, comes towards Fletcher. Fletcher, in every possession, has used it wisely. Beautiful pick-up now by Bourne. Gets the one over now to Robinson. And Robinson, who hasn't really drifted too far downfield, he's just stayed inside the 25-metre mark, and he's going back for a second shot. You'd like to see him kick this one, Tubes, after he hooked that one a little bit from right to left.
Well, the first one was obviously practice, Hoppy, so here we go. We'll see him send this one home. Here we go. Bang.
He has certainly done so. It's gone the other side, but the umpire said that'll be good enough for me, and Robinson has kicked another goal. So Tasmania are really going nicely here in the Relive the Rivalry, as they have moved on to 3 goals, and the Victorians have yet to trouble the scorer in the goal department, Stoney.
Now, I know that in this Victorian team that the players still having a kick. Liberatory still plays Super Fools. Favola is the coach next year of the Yarrawonga Pigeons and the interleague coach. Who else have we got? Sean Smith still runs around, and Troy Luff and Chris Do still have a go. So they've got some players that play the game still, but Tassie are just dominating the game.
They certainly are. I think the beauty so far is exactly what we just showed there, that they are teaming up so beautifully. They are sharing the onion around. They are working hard. That was Zanotti there, who showed a bit of pride in his performance. He went in very hard and he took that ball like the consummate defender out wide, and it is now a boundary throw in. They're fighting very hard. Nice tap back into that dangerous area as a defender. You don't want to see it there. Comes out towards Winder, who goes to soccer. Didn't get down as low this time, but that man there, we know he'll guarantee he'll get down the lowest. As Tony Liberatore, the Brownlow medalist. We're not talking schmucks out there, gentlemen. We've got some quality players.
Yeah, Hoppy, just really quickly coming on for his first run of the day, taking Ben Beams off to give him a rest is the big guy, Brett Costello, the media man from down here in southern Tasmania. He's a big deal. He's got a big set of thighs as he runs out to a centre-half back to play on the big bull. Baker.
Well, he's got the big thighs because I know I live down there at Cremorne and I've seen him in the sand dunes doing a big pre-season because he just wants to get over the ground a little bit now. Have a look at him there. He's just saying, I want to get out a little bit of space. Just try and get my dukes on the ball and get a lazy kick, Stoney.
The barrel-chested Brent Costello.
Very barrel-chested.
He's playing a loose man in defence there.
Yes. Do you think that's a loose man in defence, or do you think the Victorians are saying this bloke, I think we can just give him a little bit of latitude. Comes over the back and Caton takes it through for the -4, and it is Tasmania who move on to 21 to Victoria, 2 points, as Christou goes on that trusted and very reliable left foot, gets it on to Di Martina, and he has been a fantastic player. And look at him now teaming up as Karras picks up that ball, pushing it forward. Favola just gets his man under it. He decides to pass it off to the great Modra, and he's played in front and he has put that one up. He got the better position there, Stoney, and you couldn't get round him.
No, you're right there, Hop, and good teaming by Big Fev, and got onto his teammate. I know I have a bit of a joke before the game in the change rooms about who can kick the most goals today.
So we're lining it up now, bringing it in, and that familiar Locks just goes back, and he has slotted that one through for a much-needed goal to the Big V. That's just what they need. They're up and about now with their first goal. They move on to 1-2-8. Tasmania still there on 21. What about that match up down there, Tubes? How do you see that one?
Well, they've got
Woolridge.
Woolridge. They've got Woolridge on Modra. I'm not sure that that's the best bet. Maybe he doesn't have the pace to go with Favola, who's still very fit and playing, as we said, in the ovens and Murray League.
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they've just gone with Hazel because Hazel is a fit-looking unit down there. Oh, hang on. We've called a free kick off the boundary umpire there. Anyway,
just a little bit over anxious to get inside there, so they just go through a succession of handballs. Getting down there, the man in front couldn't quite take the ball. As you saw Winder come in and just a big spoil, as he's renowned for that tough defensive style. And it goes back towards the centre half back there in Richard Champion, who moves it on towards Christou. This looks a little bit better from the Big V as it comes out towards Smith. He just tried to arch his back, and Di Martina goes the handball back out wide. But in comes Struthers, who's particularly well over the ball towards Holland now. But it is now Di Martina. They're starting to get their hands on the ball a little bit more now, Stoney.
Starting to run a bit, which is really good. Liberatore's starting to get his hand on the footy.
Well, it might have been held without the ball, but it is Bourne who picks that one up. Bourne goes forward, and it goes out now. Oh, look at that. They decided to give that one out to Poulton, but it was just a little bit over amorous there, and he couldn't quite bring that one in, as Christou showed a little bit of candy there. He just tempted him to come in and get it, but he couldn't do so. So Liberatore picks that one up, and now it is Victoria through O'Loughlin.
First time you've called his name in a while there, Hoppy. I'd expect him to come into the game a little bit more.
Excuse me, and it was Crouch as well as one we needed, 2 Tubes, and it is Favola who's taken this one in, and this is the sort of bread and butter shot outside 50 Tubes you'd expect the big man to go back and get.
I remember him kicking one from a similar position at the Adelaide Oval a few years ago. But anyway.
So Favola goes back. It's a big, strong kick. It's right in there as Modra tried to get up particularly high. They've got the numbers back here as picking that ball up. How about that? That was big work.
Simon Taylor.
It's big Simon Taylor. Of course, I remember on this ground playing for the Devils. And
I remember.
Who would have thought that he would have gone on? So he decided through his studies, I think, Stoney. He went over to Victoria at university, went through the Box Hill, and then was recruited and played some fantastic games for the Hawthorn Football Club.
Yeah, good story actually it was. And remember Matthew Armstrong was saying this kid can really play many moons ago. So
Zanotti gets that backhand ball out towards Christou, and Christou just goes long and direct to O'Loughlin. Now their opportunity that they well supported there, and they can't see anyone, so he's decided to go long. Back in towards... Up! Oh, beauty! And I think he's found someone, sees Modra just back there, and he's right outside the square, and the crowd loved that one.
That was beautiful work. And he's just giving him, giving him out to Modra there. You'd think he'd go back and drill a few, but obviously trying to get the confidence up of Tony Modra.
Well, Modra now going back for his second goal, and he has slipped that one through. But I put it to you, Timmy Hazel almost bowed his head and said, "Go on, Fev, do your best, get up on there, son," and made it nice and easy for him. And he has put that one through, and the Vic Stoney, they are making a very nice comeback.
You know, it's when players have played at this level, their pride. Fev is still playing football, and as I said, he's had some three really good seasons at the Pigeons in Yarrawonga over the last few years. We look at the crowd and the crowd in the ground, which is quite good. But he's got a lot of pride, so he's going to try and do really well for the Vics.
I think that's exactly what the thing will kick in as Karras takes a nice mark. Holland puts the tackle on, and Victoria through Winter gets the handball back across to Caton, and they are moving very nicely now as that comes towards the half-forward flank. Favola comes out, he can't quite get it, comes back down towards Taylor, getting the handball back across, and that's very nicely worked. You're going to be in trouble, son, as Bourne goes back across to Gale, back inboard, and that was magnificent work to Big Peter Street.
Oh,
he is a
Mickey
colossus as Mickey O now picks that one up, gets it back, and it's going into TD, getting the handball back over there, really sharing the ball about as Baldwin now has gone that one extra handball tubes.
We could see another hamstring here from Atkins, but he's done all right to take it out.
Is he okay?
Oh, he's all right. He's okay. But Fev and Simon Taylor were going out a little bit after that contest down in the pocket here. Favola might have been giving a little bit of action to Taylor, but that's all right.
Well, we've got a ring in tubes.
Huh?
We've got to find out who's wearing the number 10 Guernsey for Victoria. So we've got someone come off the interchange bench that I know nothing about.
We'll find that out. We've got some due diligence. We'll certainly get down to the huddles.
Yeah, we'll find out.
And find that out, as there's a bit of direction coming there from Polton, as we are certainly getting deep into this first quarter. Very, very hot conditions with these men. They are gladiators, and they have certainly been working hard towards this game, as you can see from the way they're looking as Toddy Pepper comes through. Going into Robinson, he didn't need a building there to come up. Oh, he's taken a little cheeky one. Gets the handball across, and I think it might have been Shepherd. Yep. And he said, "Thanks very much, I'm on the scoreboard," and Tasmania are good enough now to get that answering goal, and that's their fourth for the game.
A lot of hang time there from Robertson. He sort of jumped onto no one and then floated. Beautiful work.
Certainly is, and so now Tasmania with that quick answer. That's always the sign of a good team, Stoney, that the team can answer the up goal.
Yeah, with their forward, Robinson's causing a whole lot of trouble for the Victorian backline. We're 20 minutes into the first quarter, Hop, so nearly, I think they're on the 25-minute quarters possibly.
All right, so the ruckman go up. That was Peter Street, gets it out. But Victoria, they're trying to work hard as the great Mickey O picks that ball up.
The old
He's trying to just do the police work there and get some action. And Hazel has gone down and taken a very nice mark. I love the way he just drifted across the pack. Comes out toward Atkins. He's got his dukes on that one. Lovely succession of handballs. Comes back towards Pepper. He goes back into that corridor. That was a dangerous area to be in. You don't want to be about when that one comes over as Faulkner goes in particularly hard. And the boundary has seen it across, and it'll be a boundary throw in there on the... What was the Deaf and Dumb Institute side, Stoney?
Was it really? Okay, Hop. These players, how long it's going to be before the weather conditions take control, whether those hamstrings become tighter and they're calling for the water more and more, and players are actually on their knees. It won't be long on that.
Well, last year they called for the thermos and full of soup and the hot cloths to try and keep the circulation going. I put it to you they'll have the ice vests out there. Ladies and gentlemen, for those who are viewing this from around the planet, going live through Duff TV, it is a very, very balmy. It'll be, 33, 4 out there,
It's very warm. I had to walk around the ground before I had to take the shirt off. It was that hot.
You can see there.
Suntan lotion, all that
it's
sort of stuff.
very, very warm out there, Tubes.
Yes, very hot as Fev just chips it over, gives away another goal to TD.
Have you seen Favola being just so unselfish as he just slipped that one. I don't think he's got a goal himself yet.
No, he hasn't. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's doing. Maybe trying to rekindle his love for giving it away. You know, the nature of what this day's all about, to give to muscular dystrophy. He's given away a few goals.
Tubes, look who's like. We've got Brent Costello, who's lined up on Brendan Favola. That's a Hoppy. That's a very much a mismatch, that one.
Well, I think he's going to tell him all about it.
Yeah.
He says, you guys make sure that I get a mark, otherwise I'm going to get on Channel 6 on Win TV tonight, and I'm going to just make up a story that is just going to go out there that you won't like. So be gentle to me. I think that's why Hudson's put him down there. He's a pretty shrewd operator. As Tasmania now through Hudson, he's gone onto that left. They've spread the ball with beautiful modern day footballers. Benny Beams has just gone high, wide, and not quite so handsome, and it's gone too far. So Christou, I think it's just on the line, so it'll be a boundary throw in very deep into this first quarter. Very entertaining game as Tasmania 27, Victoria 20. Just waiting for the big ruckman here, Tubes.
I'll tell you what could come into this, boys, is not just fitness but also rotations. Tasmania seem to have 4 or 5 different players on the bench than Victoria. They got a very vast bench. Victoria struggling.
Well, they are, so that could play into Tasmania's hands. I think it might have been a flight delay. Tasmania might have done that on purpose or diverted that flight from Melbourne to Hobart via Sydney.
I have a concern, Hoppy, that have we got any timekeepers? Because this quarter may go forever.
How long have we been playing there, Stoney?
22 minutes in the first quarter.
He's going the barrel.
Here it is. Favola has kicked that from a long way. Oh, has that goal umpire got no sense of theatre? That has gone through. Dead set goal. He's got to review that one, and we've got a replay of that. I could have sworn that one's gone through for the. What about you up there?
I had a perfect look at that, boys,
Tubes.
from where I'm sitting, and that went right on the inside of the big goal post. Goal for mine.
Dear, oh dear.
Was that from, how far was that, Tube?
67 metres probably.
Okay.
Yeah, he just laced it.
Beautiful.
It's gone through goal high too, which is, obviously a little bit difficult to tell for the goal umpire. The goal umpire's down there with his hands in the air saying, sorry mate, I've called a point. Can't take it back.
Gee whiz, but it would have been nice to see the big one going, as now Victoria are really starting to come into this game. As Caton gets that handball back across, they're getting some loose men. Smith, he puts the big burners on as he goes hard in towards Danaher. He can't pull it back, and it's going to need another boundary throw in.
Isn't it amazing that the old legs and the hamstrings don't go when you get older? They don't go as quick as you want them to, or they used to in the past.
The old mind is,
knock a hit out there, boys.
He's got a stat. As that ball is going close towards the line, and Tasmania are just fumbling slightly, but they're able to pick that ball up and go out wide, and well picked up by Gale. Gale going back in towards Fletcher. That was just classy play. Now Holland picks it up. Goes one bounce. He's going to look inside. He can see someone on a beautiful lead out towards Shepherd, and he has taken a very, very comfortable mark as Shepherd is looking for someone to go to. He knows he got that last one as a gift, so he's trying to. Oh, he goes the old inside out. I'll go the other way. Now goes onto that left boot. Oh, look at this work. Beautifully played as Benny Beams was left all unattended there, Tubes, and he has slopped that one through for a goal.
You can't give Ben Beams that sort of space. Champion at Melbourne and Glenorchy, and coached there last year, and he went to the Uni Footy Club for a bit of fun with his mates as well this year just gone. Brilliant player, terrific on the left, a little bit of check side action.
Tubes, was he initially the first Tassie Devil captain back when?
I think he might have been.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that one.
Very, very good player for the Tassie
There we
Devils.
go.
As, ladies and gentlemen, the siren has gone here for quarter time. Very, very entertaining opening as the Tasmanian boys got out very, very quickly off the mark, and they've shot to that lead at 34. But I tell you what, Victoria has really weaved their magic and got back into this game. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying the coverage as we're going to take a quick break now, as we'll go down to the Hamilton. We'll report back to you very, very shortly.